Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. Gonna be a little bit more of a fun video today, I guess you could say. We're gonna talk about NBA rookies in this one, and NBA Summer League to some extent. The guys that I think will be in the Rookie of the Year race. We'll go over the draft a little bit and what I thought, and so on and so forth, because I didn't really do that. I did make a winners and losers video, and I didn't really give my a full in-depth opinion too much in those, but I wanted to talk about what I think so far. And yes, we will talk about Shaedon Sharpe, but at the end of the video, okay? Because I know that's why a lot of people here are like, oh, you pronounced his name wrong. Well, his parents spelt his name with a fucking O at the end, not an I. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my fault that, they didn't put a fucking I in there. It just, I don't know. Either way. Let's talk about Summer League. So, the guys who stood out to me the most were Paolo Banchero, Chet Holmgren, and Keegan Murray. Jaden Ivey was also pretty impressive, but if I had to put my money on some guys who are going to be in the Rookie of the Year race, I think it's going to be Chet Holmgren, Keegan Murray, and it's kind of a toss-up between like Jaden Ivey and Paolo Banchero. I personally think it's going to be Keegan Murray, Chet Holmgren, and Paolo Banchero, mostly because it's not that I think Jaden Ivey's not going to be in the hunt. He obviously is. I just think Jaden Ivey's going to be a late starter compared to everyone else. I feel like because Keegan Murray is not exactly going to be like one of like the guys, I guess you could say, like, I just feel like the idea that he's on a team with Saddiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Stewart, like he's Jalen Duren, you know what I'm saying? He's going to get his touches, don't get me wrong. He's going to be bringing the ball up the floor every time. But I just think, like, Detroit's already not a great team. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe Jaden Ivey has like a John Morant type season. I don't know. Like, that's always a possibility. But from what I've seen in Summer League, Keegan Murray appears to be the most NBA ready. Chet Holmgren seems like he's going to be pretty good. Paolo Banchero is going to get all the touches he wants in Orlando, it appears. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you're leaving out Jabari Smith. And Jabari Smith was the guy. I'm not going to lie. He's the guy I had going number 1 in the draft, and the Magic threw us a curveball and drafted Paolo Banchero, and Banchero looked better than Jabari Smith in Summer League. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. Smith is another guy that I could see coming into his own towards the middle, or like right before the All-Star break or after the All-Star break, really going on a tear or something. But if I'm just going on like longevity and guys who are going to perform at the highest level the longest, those are the guys that I think. Those are the guys that always end up winning Rookie of the Year. The guys who perform well and do it for like the entire first season. So that's what I think. That's just my opinion. Obviously, it could be, like Jaden Ivey, Paolo Banchero, and Chet Holmgren. That's always a possibility. Keegan Murray's going to have to share touches with De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis and Harrison Barnes. That's always a possibility as well. So who knows? You know what I'm saying? It could be any combination of those two that I gave you, but I just think, it's going to be Holmgren, Banchero, and Murray if Keegan Murray keeps playing the way he did in Summer League in the regular season. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. The Ivy one's starting to sound better, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It is what it is. Those are the guys that I expect, though. So, let's talk about, I guess, the NBA draft as a whole, because believe it or not, it's pretty shocking to me on YouTube that you can call like 42% of the draft right, and then when you make a video about a player who went 7th, people seem to think you're a dumbass. And that's kind of what happened. I called about 42% of the lottery correct. And, it's just like, I think to myself, that's a pretty good number, considering you don't really know what teams are going to take who until like the moment arises, really. But when Keegan Murray went at 4, I knew Jaden Ivey was going at 5. I'm like, absolutely, that's the best fit for Ivey. He's going to Detroit. People were all pissed that I had Jaden Ivey going to Detroit and not going to Sacramento. Like, even in my mock draft video, I had Ivey going at 5 and Murray going at 4. And people were like, there's no way Sacramento's passing on Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey didn't even fucking work out for them. So, yeah, I'm pretty positive they're passing on him because I don't think Jaden Ivey even wanted to work out for them. So, yeah, they were taking Keegan Murray. And honestly, being that they already have De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell on their team, it was probably the right move. You know what I'm saying? The fit was perfect for them. In a way, Jaden Ivey not working out for Sacramento benefited both Detroit and Sacramento, I think. So, I just want to throw that out there. But I will say this, Dyson Daniels going to the Pelicans, called it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, people act like I didn't do my fucking homework on this shit. Yeah, there were some picks I got wrong. But it's just the idea, man, like, you know, I don't make videos just to make videos. You know, I'm not like your fucking casual NBA fan. Just like, oh, you know, the fucking with the 30th pick, the fucking Charlotte Hornets are getting, you know, Mike Dunleavy or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I actually look into these players. So, lastly, I want to talk about the elephant in the room, Shaedon Sharpe. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be shocked if he plays, and the reason I say that is because, well, I saw Shaedon Sharpe's like 5 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever that he played in Summer League, and I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty fucking horrendous outside of that little turnaround fadeaway jumper he made. He blocked a shot and got called for goaltending. There was one time teammates running down the floor, has an open layup, throws the ball behind him to like the guy in the 5th fucking row. You know, his shot selection was questionable. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't taking the best shots. I just think Shaedon Sharpe is a very, very rough prospect. And I feel like his ball handling and shot creation are incredibly overrated. I think his defense is overrated. You know, like there's just a lot of red flags about Shaedon Sharpe. And I understand why people like him. You know, he jumps out of the fucking gym and, yeah, he has the ability to pull from anywhere on the court, essentially. But, like, you need more than that to be successful in the NBA. And I just think to myself, man, like, I understand why Portland Trailblazers fans are excited about him. Yes, we don't have a big sample size, but, like, in his first Summer League game, he got injured. Or, you know, he had some type of, like, I don't even remember what the injury was. We had some type of tear or something. You know, he's going to be out for the rest of Summer League. But, like, in those 5 minutes and 36 seconds that I watched of Shaedon Sharpe play, I was like, he's not even tracking his man on defense. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, it's his first Summer League game, okay? So, I'm taking this all with a grain of salt. But I'm watching him play, and, like, He's playing the Detroit Pistons, and he was just leaving his man open on the corner for 3. And then there was one time where like the Detroit Pistons were running a screen, and someone didn't rotate. I don't know if it was Shaedon Sharpe or his teammate. Somebody didn't rotate, and a guy got wide open for a 3, and Shaedon Sharpe was just kind of lost in the middle, it seemed. So like, I understand the hype, but you know, just because somebody's athletic doesn't always mean they're going to be successful. And I feel like people have, you know, they see a number 1 reclassified prospect and they think that's like the shiny new toy, and I understand that, but Shaedon Sharpe is more than likely not going to get the opportunity people think he's going to get in his first year. I mean, even based on Summer League, Keon Johnson, and who's the other guy they drafted? Jabari Walker looked really good. Like, Keon Johnson and Jabari Walker are more than likely going to get more minutes this upcoming season than Shaedon Sharpe will. I mean, even if you look at the Blazers roster, they have, like, 7 or 8 guards on their roster. They have Damian Lillard, Keon Johnson, Didi Lozuda, if I said that correctly, Josh Hart, Gary Payton II, Anthony Simons, Isaiah Miller, Jared Rhoden, and Shaedon Sharpe. And if I'm being completely honest, Damian Lillard, okay, Keon Johnson, Josh Hart, Gary Payton II, and Anthony Simons are all going to get more minutes than Shaden Sharpe. Because Keon Johnson was pretty damn impressive in the Summer League. So was Jabari Walker, but he plays forward. Damian Lillard's not sitting. He's not taking less minutes. He just signed a huge contract extension. Even Didi Lozada, He's a solid player. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart is definitely not sitting. Gary Payton II's definitely not sitting. Anthony Simons is definitely not sitting. So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 guards out of 6, okay, that Shaedon Sharpe has to play better than to get minutes. I really feel like Shaedon Sharpe is going to be one of those guys that gets drafted really high in the draft, top 10 prospect, and he's going to be one of those dudes that comes in garbage time. And what I mean by that is, like, if they're ahead by, like, 20 or 30 points with, like, 2 minutes left in the game. And who knows, Shaedon Sharpe could improve. You know what I'm saying? Shaedon Sharpe could easily get better. But I watched his first Summer League game, and granted, it was only 5 minutes and 30 seconds of action, but I'm like, this doesn't look like a top 10 prospect to me. Even just in those 5 minutes, I'm like, he's, like I said, lost on defense. His, ill-advised shots, the goaltend, the pass behind his teammate, the fuck up on defense with the switch. It's just like, those things stand out when you're a number 1 prospect or a top 10 prospect, especially when you're Shaedon Sharpe and you're like the number 1 player in the country and you reclassified to enter the draft and all this other stuff, like spotlight's on you, guy, and kind of choked in the moment. So I'm gonna leave this open. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give Shaedon Sharpe a chance to prove me wrong, and I hope he proves me wrong, but based on the competition on his team, I will be shocked if Shaedon Sharpe gets minutes. I mean, Kevin Knox. Remember when Kevin Knox was in the draft and he went to the Knicks? And everyone's like, Kevin Knox is going to be really good. And he ended up being shit. He's been, now he's on the Atlanta Hawks or some shit, or the Detroit Pistons. Like, he went to the Atlanta Hawks, now he's on the Detroit Pistons, I think. It's just like, he reminds me of Kevin Knox in every way. A guy who is super fucking hyped, who is like, he's gonna get to the NBA and just not be what we anticipate or expect him to be. So, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Shaedon Sharpe proves me wrong, but I don't have a good feeling about him. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.